right, guys, we are here. We are at the Texas Whiskey Festival, the 8th annual Texas Whiskey Festival. It's going to be a fun time. It's a beautiful day, a little windy. It's amazing. Y'all stay tuned for some cool stuff.
I see a lot of new ones, which I absolutely love. And for the people that have been here, I encourage you to find that person that has the deer in the headlight look, that hasn't been here, and help shepherd them along the way. This is a community, and it's what makes this event and whiskey so great. Whiskey's obviously always fantastic, but it is literally about y'all, the distillers, and how we can all come together over this one glass. And so I can't thank y'all enough for being here for it. Because of that, I wanted to do something special. I wanted to do a toast. I wanted to raise a glass of whiskey with all of y'all. But I didn't want it to just be anything you can try anywhere. Like, that's not my style. So I created a blend just for y'all. Outside of what we're about to do now, there's been a total of like 7 people that have tried this. So it is a blend of 4 whiskeys from 2 different distilleries. It's my version of a Boo Rye. I've got cast strength Still Austin's bourbon, cast strength Still Austin rye, Bent Distilling's bourbon, and Bent Distilling's rye. So if y'all want it, I'll actually post what the mash bill is at some other point. I just want to say thank y'all for being here. This is a wonderful community, and I cannot thank y'all enough for being a part of it. Thank you. Cheers to y'all.
Cheers. All right, we are here with the one and only Moose from Andalusia. Tell us a little bit about winning world's best small batch single malt. I can't freaking talk.
Well, it feels pretty good. First of all, I'd like to thank my family. I'd like to thank my bosses. No, I'm just joking. For real, I do want to thank them. But it feels pretty awesome to be that little bitty old distillery from the hill country in Texas making waves in the world. We beat out a 40-year-old Bunnahabhain, and I hold Bunnahabhain pretty close to my heart. It feels pretty amazing.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
And it's a new production style and method, and I just want him to be able to talk about it openly. And we are going to have time for Q&A at the end, so if you have questions, save them and we will give you time. But so Sean, tell us about the Pairings, and you have a microphone right there.
I do. Hello everyone, I'm Sean Seams with Spirit of Texas. We have been around since 2009, so you might not have heard of us, but we're not new. We are most known for our Pecan Street rum. That's a product that we've been making since 2010. Sorry. And then we've journeyed on.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Again, my name is Brad Farpstein. I'm the owner and operator at Real Brewing Company. Thank you. And Real Spirit. So we've been making beer out in the hill country for the last 29 years, and we've been making spirits out in the hill country for the last 12 years. We got our DSP license in 2013. We are also taking a little bit different approach to making spirits. We sourced a alembic pot still from a manufacturer in Portugal to make our spirits. And for those of you guys that are not familiar with alembic pot stills, but they are primarily designed to distill wine. They're designed to make the fortifying spirit for port wines and sherries. And they differ from most stills in that they are designed to capture flavor instead of stripping flavor out, because most distillates of wine are looking to preserve a lot of the ester profiles of the wine into the final spirit. And what we are extremely focused on is capturing the ester profiles of our beer and carrying those ester profiles into our spirits. Since we have a lot of experience in fermentation and making beer, it seemed like a natural way for us to be able to carry the qualities of our beer into our final spirit. We were a founding member of the Texas Whiskey Association. When we got involved with the association, the spirit industry in Texas was very young. And there was a lot of spirit that was being brought in from out of state and sold as Texas whiskey, mainly the ones that had big cowboy hats and stars on it. Our billboards on I-35, because none of us can afford a billboard on I-35. So, but it was important to us. I'm born and raised in Texas, and I love everything about Texas except for posers. I really wanted to make sure that people could differentiate actually Texas-made spirits from spirits that are made outside the state.
So let's talk about the Phoenix Horizon project, which is what we're going to take. So it's a 5-year experiment. So talk to us about what the experiment is and why y'all chose to make it 5 years and so forth.
Yeah, so, because, us as distillers in Texas are fairly young to the industry and excited about pushing boundaries, what we have found is that beers that have complex malt bills, mainly dark malts, but also caramel malts, make incredible whiskey. So our signature whiskey is made from a Belgian triple or devil's backbone and a Scotch ale called Real Heavy. And what we found by distilling our Real Heavy was that really complex malt bill translated into a really complex whiskey. We had produced a beer back in 2007 called Phoenix Double ESB, and it was one of our favorite beers. It was produced for a little over 11 years. But we discontinued it in 2017, and our head distiller, Davin Tokol, was interested in what the distillate of that beer might taste like. So we brewed a batch just for the distillery. When we are brewing for the distillery, please know there's no hops introduced into the boiling process because the hops don't translate well through the distilling process. And we also do not boil our wort, which is weird for us as brewers, but as distillers, the congeners are something we want to keep in our wash and keep in our final spirit. And those could be disrupted or destroyed in the boiling process. And so,
distiller, a giant Texas distiller, and I reached out to him with this project that I wanted to do, which was, man, I found some sweet Spanish vermouth barrels. Can we put your rye in it? And he's like, I got you. Let's do it. And I'm gonna let Julian take it from there because we bought 3 barrels and 2 of them went one direction and this one took a whole new path. And he was more a part of that process than I was. And so, Julian, how did it go?
Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation. I'm really honored to be with these great distillers around me. It was a process that took some time, and it was we did an extensive barrel selection before we picked the barrel that was going to go into the vermouth barrels. As Jake said, it was 3 barrels, One was the oddball. That one developed some oily, smoky character. So we said this is gonna be a cigar batch. So we kept waiting until it was the perfect moment to pull the liquid out of the barrel, which was almost a year, like 10 months. And that's what you're drinking right now. It's proudly a gold medal winner of the competition. So we are very proud of that. I hope you guys enjoy it. We're located in Houston, Texas. We're east of downtown. We come from a coffee background. We're a family-owned business, third generation. We have been making whiskey for the last 8 years. Very weird setup. You guys go there, very weird stills. We custom made those stills. And then 2 years ago, we put in operation a distillation column. With that distillation column in operation, we are able to produce more refined whiskeys, cleaner white dog. So I have the ability to blend a pot distill and column distill white dog. That's what we're doing right now. And we pay a lot of attention into the details on the grain that I picked for the mash bills. Now I'm playing with different varieties. For the rye, for example, I'm making a rye with Serafino rye and Abruzzi rye, which is more on the chocolate side. We're also changing a little bit in the corn. We're using more white corn in the mash bill. We lowered our entry proof. We learned, as opposed to Brad, in Houston, the conditions are a little bit different. We have way more humidity and we're aging at sea level, right? So I age in concrete warehouses. We stack in pallets, only 3 high. Every 6 months we rotate the pallets because we have to do an inventory every 6 months. So we take that opportunity to rotate the pallets. Additionally, I have a moisture and temperature sensors connected to exhaust fans. So when the moisture goes above 75%, the exhaust fans will come on to keep the airflow. That's everything I do over there. Yeah, we reach in different conditions, but what you guys are tasting today is a Texas soil. I truly believe that the properties of the Texas terroir create a different flavor profile, and we are very proud about that. So guys, enjoy. Cheers.
Cigar with Andalusia Whiskey Company. He is their head distiller, and what he brought tonight is another collaboration that I did with Andalusia, and it is their Revenant Oak, so Irish peated single malt. We put their new mate in mezcal barrels. So this is a 100% aged in mezcal barrels. Irish peated single malt in mezcal barrels.
Do you remember what kind of mezcal barrels?
I do not. I'm guessing that you probably have that. I'm going to let him actually tell you about it. So what I love about this collaboration is I kind of gave Moose, I bought these barrels. Here's kind of what I want to do. And next thing you know, I get a text message from him saying, hey, here's what I did. It's like, oh, okay, cool. So I'll let Moose take it away from there.
Good afternoon. So one day you show up to work and there's 3 mezcal barrels sitting out. And the first one you fill with...
I thought we only... Oh, no, we didn't have 3. Sorry, we had 3.
There were 3 at the beginning. 3. It's a magic number, I've heard. So you start off with 3 barrels. You fill one with an already 3-year aged product or 2.5-year aged product. And that was our first Tejas release with the Texas Whiskey Festival. But if you leave me alone with new barrels that have not been spoken for too long, I get antsy. I want to do funny things with them. And these barrels happen to be a little bit of smoky agave leaning. So why not put our peated single malt in it? So I was right in the middle of a couple of Revenant Oak distillations. I needed somewhere for the spirit to go desperately, and it just so happened that lovely fella in the hat down there dropped me off a couple barrels that were willing participants. Those barrels happened to be one Espadín mezcal barrel and one Mexicano mezcal barrel. One was smoky, one was not. One had a bunch of fruit flavors and one had a bunch of dense earthy flavors. They sat around for just a touch over 24 months. and really kind of let all of the agave smoke and the peat smoke intermingle, marry, if you will, and they became this fun, perplexing smoke profile that you can't quite put your finger down. I need one of those things. I mean, we cannot allow that. Make time for the good stuff, sir. It really, for one, let those two castes speak against each other without it being dominating in agave smoke or dominating in peat smoke. That one not smoky caste allowed us a little bit of leeway, and we came out with a really approachable yet still smoky, full flavored, 50% alcohol. And that 100 proof, we had talked about it. I think Jake and I did a little video about it, putting it out at some different strengths. And we sat around one afternoon and we tried it at cask strength. We tried it halfway between there and 50% alcohol. And at 50% alcohol, that smoke really bloomed. So, the water's kind of breaking apart that smoke, letting it blossom out and get aromatic. And it really brought it to life. So for me, this whiskey, for one, if I ruined your barrels, I'm sorry. I don't think I did. For me, it's honey, eucalyptus, and like that really awesome bottle of tequila you weren't supposed to drink of your dad's. That's where this sits for me. Somewhere in the middle of that. I don't know what else you want me to say about this.
No,
I could talk all day about it.
No, and let's not talk all day about it. It's, I think you did a phenomenal job explaining it, and the process, yes. We went through a lot of different proofs, and we just kind of settled on, we like this one the best. We really wanted to highlight that smoke. But I actually have a question that I would like each of y'all's input on when it comes to these projects. And I'm going to start with you, Sean, and then we're going to work our way down. I know, I put you on the spot. It's a big question.
It's okay. I think one of the biggest things with being a Texan all my life and just seeing the camaraderie of the distillery organization, and then having the support from the local Texans and even the transplants that have moved to Texas. I think once people get in here, they kind of realize like we have this bond to where people are creating new ideas, people are willing to give tribe of these individuals, and so again, I think it opens people's eyes to opportunities to try new products, and some states tend to be a little more snobby on certain aspects of.
So what you're saying is we're Texas friendly.
I think we're, yes.
All right, I like that. We're Texas friendly. All right, Brad, where are you at with how do these success and failures? How are they shaping the Texas whiskey landscape?
I think it's just making it a more creative space that people want to be a part of, and I think it is helping to put Texas on the map. I think I mentioned it before, but I think we're making some of the best whiskey in the country, and I think the whiskey that ages in Texas is different than the whiskey that's aging in other states, just because of our really diverse climate. Julian kind of talked about how humid it is in Houston. It's interesting, like we almost get a coastal breeze coming up from Corpus on 281, and so we sit at about like 84% relative humidity pretty much year round, which is really interesting. And we haven't seen a large angel share in our rick houses through the years, but 2023 was the second hottest summer on record, and we really saw significant angel share. We actually saw our proofs going up, which is uncommon for us. And as a result, it ended up making some of the best whiskey we've ever made. Now there's a lot less of it, which is I'm crying over. But the whiskey that was aging in those rick houses is some of the best whiskey we've ever made. So, I think Texas distilling is still in its infancy. There's a lot for us to do, a lot for us to prove. But I think with all the innovations that we do, it creates an environment that people want to continue to be a part of it, and it's exciting, and it's new, and we're not kind of stuck in the confines of what other people think whiskey is. So I think there's a lot more to come.
I think that's fantastic.
I think he said it all. Yeah. You say it all.
Mic drop.
Discussion's now done. Brian said everything. No, come on, you got some.
No, I think that these experiments, either they fail or they success, they just improve the quality of our whiskey. If you think about it, 6 years ago, there was not so many Texas whiskey out there, and now we're on the map. A few weeks ago, I was in New York, and I was very proud to see on the whiskey list whiskeys from Balcones and whiskeys from Garrison Brothers. So that is telling us that we're doing something right. So these experiments are only challenging us to be better, and it's just gonna get even better from here.
Success and failure, I don't know, man. Success makes you take a step back, look at what you've done, and figure out how to rectify that situation. Without the failures, where even are we, man? If I hadn't made all of my friends taste shitty booze at some point, and they go, smooth, man. I would not be the guy I am today. Without making a couple really stellar casks of whiskey and pitting them against the worst things I've ever made, where would I be? It all holds us accountable for our mistakes and makes us strive for something further and to reach that next bar. And so we don't stagnate. And maybe we're all a young industry. We're in our infancy, like Brad said, but it keeps us always reaching, new plateaus and always resetting that bar and striving for more. So even though we may always be in the same wheelhouse of whiskey, of Texas whiskey, we're also at a constant elevation of Texas whiskey. We're always pushing the boundaries of what Texas whiskey can be. And I think as a group, we're doing a pretty stellar job at it.
I certainly fucking agree. No, I think that y'all are constantly pushing the boundaries. 100% agree. Yes, everything y'all said is exactly what I've noticed over the last 8 years of getting to be a part of this and doing this. And so, y'all, what I love about this industry is that these distillers never stop pushing the envelope. They don't ask. The question is why, not why. The question is why not, as I was put earlier. It's like, why not? It's fun. And that is every time I've approached anybody with a collaboration project, the answer's been, why not? Sounds like fun. And I think that's what sets y'all apart from any other industry and any other whiskey people, is that y'all answer a question with, why not? Not, I don't know, maybe, sure. Y'all just go, why not? But, no, y'all are innovating, and I do know there are some questions out there, so.